To read more of my reviews, check out anifilereviews.com or follow me on Twitter at MasakoX or at Anifile. Today's review: Barakamon. When living in the city or a big residential area, you get used to the creature comforts surrounding you. As a result, your inner creativity is at risk of being dampened or lost altogether. You could lose that innate human drive to push the boundaries of artistic vision and make something which simply conforms instead of inspires. Barakamon chronicles one man's struggle to rekindle his creative flair in a tremendously charming manner by stripping away the trappings of modern life and focusing on what really matters: love. Seishu is a talented calligraphy artist with many awards and accomplishments to his name in his short career. However, he has recently fallen victim to bland conformity, and it's begun to seep into his work. He is an extremely self-critical person, and when his work is labelled as dull by an important figure in the calligraphy world, he takes it out by punching the accuser in the jaw. That was not smart. To atone for his act, Seishu is sent to an island village near the Japanese Isle of Kyushu, essentially the sticks to anyone tethered to the city. At first, he is raging at this effective prison and yearns to get back to the mainland. In time though, he begins to understand the reasoning behind his exile and calms down enough to be able to function. It helps that the folks on the island are pretty welcoming. One kid in particular, Naru, a spunky little girl, pretty much adopts Seishu and teaches him how to have fun, and the pair become practically inseparable. Over the story, the young calligrapher begins to break down the barriers which formed around his creative spark through important life lessons and the simple adage we all should heed sometimes: lighten up. Barakamon is one of those anime that you have to admire for being so gosh darn charming. Everything is geared towards being emotionally accomplished and relaxing. There's no high-paced action or cityscapes outside of the first episode. There's just the sea and the village around it. It's one of those classic tales of one person from the city having to move to the country and dealing with it in order to achieve something. It may be a familiar plot at the core, but the way it dresses itself with everything else makes it something so endearing and so lovely that you don't care if it's a tried and tested plot. You simply go with the flow and watch on as Seishu starts to chill out and fulfill the reason why he went to the island and into the arms of the villagers. In fact, it's something that makes me feel a little jealous. Modern day life has left us all a little cold, selfish and paranoid. Seishu's reaction when the villagers help him move in and welcome him to the hamlet is a prime example. He is wary and guarded, but the smiles and genuine friendliness is so evident here that even he starts to warm up. It makes me want to pack up my things and move out to a village like the one depicted here. I long for a place where everyone knows each other and helps one another out. I feel like that's something that's been lost in modern society. Everyone is scared of each other. Not in Barakamon they aren't. It's so touching to see Seishu opening up episode by episode. He slowly comes to terms with his existence and actually breaks down the feelings of resentment he had to his father, who sent him out to the island in the first place, and even to his faltering career. In fact, when a young prodigy, Kosuke, and a fan of Seishu comes to visit the island, it's a brilliant contrast to what Seishu was and is now. Kosuke writes calligraphy to be famous and copies Seishu's style, whereas Seishu is slowly allowing himself to be led by his feelings instead of going by the numbers. Flair conquers all! As for the animation, it is ridiculously pretty, but a little inconsistent sometimes. The first episode, like most anime, is the jewel in the crown, and meant to sucker people into watching the series. Here is no different, but the quality is amazing, and even the subsequent episodes are well done. I think what makes it for me is that all the characters look distinctive and unique, just like real people. Most anime properties tend to stick to one or two character models with only slight variations. In Barakamon, the villagers all look different, and reflect their personality with grace and realism that is rare. If you think about it, Seishu looks the most generic, to possibly reflect the effect that the city has had on people. Everybody looks the same. Take the city boy out of the city and place him in a seaside town far away, he'll understand what it means to be human. Kinema Citrus, the show's studio, should be proud of themselves for creating a visual delectation. Naru in particular is an iconic character, and despite her short stature, her character towers over everyone else. As of episode 9, it is not quite certain what her family life is like. All we know is that she lives with her grandfather and acts as the town's daughter in a way. Everyone takes care of her in some way. That mysteriousness in such an open character is interesting, and a little tragic too. It feels like she's not always been happy. That layering of characters is something that I admire also about this show. There's so much to this whole product that I can't stop gushing about it. Everything is so perfect and beautiful that I can't stop watching it. I love this show to bits. A similar show I can think of that evokes the same reaction is 2011's Usagi Drop. Both series have a young girl and an older guy form a bond in the unlikeliest of circumstances, and both learn from the other over time for the better. I applaud these kind of stories when there isn't much action and everything is relaxed. Of course there will be conflict in the final act of the show, there always is, but I think I know where it'll go. I don't mind though. I've enjoyed my time with the show and can confidently recommend it to everyone. Seriously, go watch it now! Barakamon is available to stream on Funimation's website. My rating? Continue. An easy pick for the top 5 anime of this season. A charmingly perfect package. If you like what you heard, please visit my Patreon campaign to help grow Anifile at patreon.com/MasakoX or follow me on Twitter at MasakoX or at Anifile.